How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to Do the Work Sports. We're back at it again. I just finished watching Monday Night Raw, and let's just get right into that Monday Night Raw recap. Starting off the night, Kevin Owens' music hits. He comes down to the ring. He grabs the microphone. You know he's getting ready to come after Seth Rollins and AOP within Mojo Rawley. And yes, you heard me right, Mojo Rawley, a man that still works for the WWE company, and I do not know how. He comes out confronting Kevin Owens about 2 weeks ago when he got hit with the Stone Cold Stunner, or the AKA now known as the Kevin Owens Stunner, and pretty much says that he has bigger problems on his hands now because he has to deal with Mojo Rawley. And Kevin Owens, being the Kevin Owens that he is, says, you know what, I got enough problems on my plate right now, and I'm happy you're out here because we got our disqualification match, and we might as well have that match right now. Now, that is a great way to start off Monday Night Raw, by the way. A no disqualification match between Kevin Owens and Mojo Rawley, and even though it's Mojo Rawley, for opening night, that's a good way. That's a good place to be. You have a chance to show what you got while the fans are still into it. They're really wanting to see what's good down, and chairs get brung into this way early, and the tables get brung into this way early. Now, Mojo Rawley holds his own against Kevin Owens and actually puts on a pretty solid match. Probably one of the best matches Mojo Rawley's ever had since being tag team partners with the Hype Bros with Zack Ryder. And this was actually a pretty good, decent match. Now, you know who was going to win this match. It was going to be Kevin Owens or AOP, and Seth Rollins would get involved in the match at some point in time. But Kevin Owens would go on to win this match. He'd get a table, and Mojo Rawley would actually get up behind him, and he would get hit with a stunner for his efforts, and then he would get a pop-up power bomb right through the table, and he'd get pinned 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens then grabs himself a seat, says, you know what, Seth? I know the moment I come back to AOP and you're going to jump me, so why don't you just jump me out here in front of these fans and give them something to cheer for? And he's right. Why not? Why not come out there and jump him? Let the fans get to see it instead of having to have a camera backstage. And he says, you know what? I'm not leaving the ring until you decide to come out here. Now, Seth Rollins is shown watching it from backstage. He is taking his sweet time walking down to the ring. I'm talking just baby steps. Him and AOP just baby stepping right along. Goes a commercial break. When they come back, Seth Rollins' music hits. He comes out to the ring with AOP. He has him wait on the outside at the bottom of the ramp, saying, hey, guys, I got this. He goes in the ring, says, hey, look, Kevin, eye for an eye. You did something to me, I did something to you. We're even now. He reaches his hand out for friendship and for truce, and he ends up getting super kicked for his trouble. And like a pack of hungry hyenas, here comes the AOP. They pick the scraps of Kevin Owens. They beat him down. He gets a curb stomp for all of his efforts, and that is that. Now, what ends up happening next is we go to a New York City setting, or Truth's walking around New York. Now, New York City. Now, how many of you remember Akira Tozawa? He's been on the last couple episodes of Raw. He's been on NXT, actually challenging for the Cruiserweight title. He's been unsuccessful thus far, but he beat R-Truth last week in the Gauntlet match. He would actually pin R-Truth in the middle of the streets to win his not his first ever title, but his second ever title, the 24/7 championship. And I'm telling you what, guys, I mean, they missed a great opportunity. They could have made this title a legitimate title where, you know what, you actually defend this thing. You go out to the ring, you have to defend it against somebody like an open challenge every single week. That's what I was really hoping to come out of this, but it's turned into a comedy skit. I'm really disappointed that they continue to keep it that way with the 24/7 championship, but I'm also happy for Tozawa to be able to win that title. R-Truth would then chase him through the streets of New York throughout the night of Monday Night Raw. Next, the actual next official match is Bobby Lashley versus Cedric Alexander. Now, poor Cedric Alexander, his push is over. We all know a while back that Paul Heyman was really, really high on Cedric Alexander, but Vince McMahon shut that down pretty quick. He does not like Cedric Alexander. He's even come out and said that, hey, you know what, I don't want to push Cedric. And so it kind of killed his momentum, killed his push, but he still puts on great matches. It's just a shame that he puts on great matches only to end up losing them at the end. But another poor thing about Cedric is right when he was building up Stanham, and this, by the way, guys, this was a good match. This was actually another solid match. It was a better match than Mojo versus Kevin Owens, in my opinion. But Cedric puts on a great show, and he gets on a roll. And then Lana would grab the microphone, and I would really wish that she would just learn to shut up. I'm tired of hearing her voice. I'm tired of hearing her talk about her and her wedding. I know it's a skit, and I know she's doing it for the company, and she's doing her job. And it's working because it's making me just really despise this feud. I really want this rivalry to be over with Rusev and Bobby Lashley. And by the way, when I say it's doing its job, no one's really feeling this feud. I don't think. Anyone's really into it. Everyone that's booing, I think, is really just booing because of just bad creativity. And I hate when they get people's personal lives involved in storylines like this. But Bobby Lashley would go on to win the match, and then they would go on and brag about how they're going to go on and have the wedding next week. And by the way, Raw, congratulations. That's 2 really solid matches in a row. That's new for you. These last couple of weeks, you've not been putting on a solid performance. I'm really happy that these last 2 matches was actually pretty solid. Then there would be an interview with Seth Rollins about his actions and how does he feel, why is he doing what he's doing. And he says, you know what, I'm doing what I'm doing because Kevin Owens is bringing it on himself. He blames Kevin Owens, saying he wants to keep pushing this issue. I'm done. I was done with it. But if he wants to keep pushing it, then this is the answer he's going to get. Now, they'll show R-Truth in the streets of New York chasing after Tozawa. Tozawa to hide behind some pine trees. And then he would get found and keep on chasing. Nothing really significant there happened. And then the next match for the night is Zack Ryder. You know, woo, 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 Mr. Internet sensation himself, because he was the Internet champion at one time. Zack Ryder, with Kurt Hawkins by his side, would have a one-on-one match with Drew McIntyre. You kind of knew where this was going to go, but this was actually a pretty good, solid match for Zack Ryder as well. But it wasn't a great match. It was just a good match. I don't even know if you want to call it solid. It was a solid match for a Zack Ryder match. Usually, you know how things go with Zack Ryder. He gets pinned pretty quick. Drew McIntyre would win the match. Then he would destroy both McIntyre and Ryder, jumping them and beating them down. And then Drew McIntyre would brag about himself on the microphone. I'm really enjoying this new type of Drew McIntyre, because McIntyre seems like he's got a lot more freedom on the microphone now. He's funny and he's a funny heel, but not in a corny way. He makes some jokes, but he's funny with how he does it, and you still know he is a total badass when he does it. That you don't want to mess with this man. And you know what? The people, I know what they're doing. I think I know what WWE's doing. I could be completely wrong. I think they're keeping Drew on the back burner. He's going to get an opportunity to that championship title here soon. And in my opinion, he needs to win that title when he gets the opportunity. He's been waiting too long. He's too good of a talent not to have a championship by now. But believe it or not, the only championship he has held is the NXT World Heavyweight title when he was on NXT. They have not had him have a winning championship yet. So the man needs something. And I really hope that he gets his shot in 2020. Now, Becky Lynch would have her promo in the ring after the whole McIntyre situation, and she would talk about how she wants to face Asuka, how she needs to face Asuka. She doesn't want to be protected. If you missed her promo last week, she's pretty much saying the company is protecting her. She does not want protected. She understands she's the golden child, but she's a fighting champion. Asuka would then come out with Kairi Sane, and she would then point at and suggest a title match by saying Asuka 2 belts. And then Becky Lynch, being Becky Lynch and being the man that she is, she accepts the challenge, says if that's the only way it's going to get you in the ring, then I accept this. I don't look for Becky Lynch to lose her title to Asuka. And I'm kind of been digging the Kabuki Warriors now that they've been on their own. I didn't really like them when they was with Paige, but I like them now that they're on their own. They've kind of became their own character. I like Asuka's makeup with the green slime and all that coming out of her eyes and her mouth. It's very creative. It's something new, and it's something that the women's tag team division needed with these two. But I don't look for Asuka to win the title because I don't see them putting her a tag team champion and a champion women's champion as well. And also, by the way, it's pretty much been confirmed that Ronda Rousey is going to make her return here pretty soon. He'll come WrestleMania season, and she's probably going to face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Whether or not it'll be for the title, that is yet to be seen. I would say it probably will be. And I don't look for Ronda Rousey to win it. I look for Becky to once again retain her title and beat Ronda Rousey. Now, the next match of the night would be Aleister Black versus some poor jobber. Aleister Black would win this match. I don't really need to go into that. I think you know how the matches go whenever you see a jobber or some local talent in the ring. Then Buddy Murphy. Turns out he has a match right after Aleister Black. So before Aleister Black gets all the way up the ramp, here comes Buddy Murphy with his music hitting, and this is all because they're going to be facing each other again next week on Monday Night Raw. It's a rematch from TLC, which Aleister Black was able to win. So, in my opinion, I think they're going to have Buddy Murphy win this time, and it'll be a rubber band match come the Royal Rumble. Buddy Murphy would go in and get cocky, and he would also face a jobber, and he would win. Now, Aleister Black would come back to the ring. He'd offer his hand out of respect as a handshake. Buddy Murphy would brush it off and shoulder check him walking out of the ring. He would then be hit with a black mask for his efforts. So this match between Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black is a can't miss. These two will be putting on a heck of a show, and it'll probably be the match of the night next Monday Night Raw. Now, they do a Rey Mysterio promo where he talks about facing Seth Rollins for the first time ever and how he got jumped and how he's going to be holding on to that title once the night's over with. Now, after that, we go to commercial break. We come back for commercial break. Tony Nese is already standing in the ring, and then Ricochet music hit. Now, anytime you know someone's standing in the ring, you already know what's going to happen. They ain't going to win that match. They just came out there, and you didn't even give them respect to having the entrance music hit. And Tony Nese has put on some pretty good show. He's a former Cruiserweight champion. Ricochet would go on to win this match, though. No surprise. And I don't know how you guys feel about Ricochet, but I'm kind of over the whole Ricochet effect. I'm kind of over him winning matches. I'm kind of over him never seeming to lose any matches. I mean, he loses them off and on, but he wins more than he ever loses, and they kind of portray him as the smaller version of the old Roman Reigns. When I say the old Roman Reigns, I mean the one where they just had him kick out of every finishing move in the book. In the Gauntlet match, he was just unstoppable. He was kicking out people's finishers. I hate that stuff, me personally, as a WWE fan, as a wrestling fan in general. I hate seeing people kick out a finisher. Why have them kick out a finisher, especially if it's late in a match, especially if it's in a gauntlet match? You know, a finisher's a finisher. And unless it's early in the match, I don't see the need to have them kick out of a finisher. Not always, anyway. I mean, sometimes it's nice, but, you know, you can overdo it. And I think with Ricochet, they overdo it with him. Now, Ricochet would go on to win that match. Then they cut to another promo. R-Truth is still chasing after Tozawa. So this is still going on, and I know it's doing it. You know, sooner or later they're going to catch up to each other, or something's about to happen. They're building up to something. Charlotte Flair's music would hit, and she'd be going against an NXT talent of Chelsea Green, my bad. Flair would go on to win this match, but it was actually a really good showing by Chelsea. I was actually impressed to see Chelsea hold her own. It was a solid performance on her half. And, you know, you get kind of worried about stuff like that when you see someone like that from NXT come up. It's not really a come up. This was more of a there ain't enough space on NXT, so I think they're just giving them these opportunities to wrestle on the main event and give them some I don't know how you want to say it, some glory or whatever. Now, after commercial break, Liv Morgan would have her promo. Liv Morgan's completely changed her character. And I hope this isn't like what happened with Emma there a couple years ago when she was supposed to be Emma Lay or something like that along the lines, and then she made an appearance and was Emma again. So I hope they stick with this and see where this goes, because anything can really happen here. Now, next segment is R-Truth gets bamboozled by Santa. Santa would go on to Santa Claus, someone dressed up as Santa Claus. And, of course, WWE would find a way to get Santa Claus involved in one of those segments. He comes around every year around Christmas time. So, of course, it would be a New York Santa Claus that would win the title and would move on and would be chased by then Tozawa and R-Truth. And so you know that throughout the night, you're going to still be dealing with the 24/7 championship. Next up on the match would be the six-man tag match. Randy Orton, along with the Viking Raiders versus the OC. Now, this was another great match for Raw. After a couple sleepers, after a couple bathroom break matches, this was another great match, and it was an awesome match. In my opinion, it was the match of the night. even over Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio that would happen later on as the main event of the night. This was an awesome performance by all of these guys. The Viking Raiders are proven why they are the Raw Tag Team Champions. The OC's finally getting some glory. The OC's finally getting some credit. They're not being overlooked. I don't see them winning the World Tag Team titles by any means, but this is a great performance by all. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. Them two in the ring together, they work great together. AJ Styles always puts on great matches. He works through the pace that Randy Orton works the best at, which is a slow/medium pace. Orton's not as young as he used to be. Orton plays off a knee injury through this match, and it would actually come back to haunt him as he is the legal along with AJ Styles. He would get the upper hand on Styles before the OC would get involved, causing Orton to hurt his knee, and then he would be hit with a phenomenal forearm. 1, 2, 3, match is over. OC gets the victory, and most importantly, it's AJ Styles that pins Randy Orton. So this is a great rivalry. I appreciate seeing these two face off against each other, and I can't wait to see more matches. I can't wait to see the Royal Rumble where they will face off against each other as well. Now, it would be a Santa highway chase on horse and buggy. Now, this was actually kind of comical. They was riding right next to each other. This is something you'd see in like a comedy movie or a TV show. So it was real corny, but it was still funny and it was still enjoyable for this 24/7 championship match. So I got a good laugh out of that. And then it would go to Eric Rowan talking to whatever he has in the cage. I don't know what he has in the cage. I've not read anything. There ain't been no rumors dropping that says this is what this is. Knowing WWE, though, I'm really concerned that this is going to be something stupid when they finally do show you what it is. I really am a big fan of Eric Rowan. I liked him better on SmackDown. I think they used him better on SmackDown. But I am a big fan of Eric Rowan. I think he's somebody that he was overlooked in the Wyatt family. I think he was overlooked in the Bludgeon Brothers. So now that he's on his own, he's been holding his own. He's actually not too bad on a microphone. He's actually really smart. He's not too bad of a performer now. You know, he's got a couple years in. He's no longer green. He knows what he's doing. So I like him as a wrestler. I like him as a person. Now, then there would be another promo of the Street Profits, and they're saying they want the smoke, and they did what the Street Profits do. They run down the show. They run down what happens, things like that. And then it would be Rowan versus another jobber. I'm telling you what, the jobbers were just falling from the sky. He would be handed a candy cane, and of course this guy would try to look at the cage, which would upset Rowan, and Rowan would beat him pretty easily, and then he would then feed the candy cane that he was given to whatever is in the cage. And like I said, I have no idea what's in the cage. I hope it's not something dumb. I'm thinking it has to be a snake. That's the only thing that seems logical to me. But I probably could be wrong. Now, R-Truth would win back. He'd finally catch Santa Claus, and he would win back his 24/7 championship, and him and Tozawa form some sort of a friendship, some sort of bond. So the chase is over for the 24/7 championship. And by the way, if they're going to do this 24/7 championship, why is it only being defended on Raw? And why is it not being defended on SmackDown? Why is it not being defended on NXT? And you know what? I would love to see it go to NXT. Give them guys some chances, the people on NXT, the younger talent, to get some shots to hold some kind of title. Now, excuse me, Rusev would come out, and he'd be talking about how happy he is to be single, how he's going to get revenge for being screwed over at TLC. But tonight, he just wants to do his match. He speaks a little bit about the wedding and how he's not going to get involved in that. And you can tell by the look on my face, he's going to get involved in that. He's not for nobody. That wedding's going to have Rusev written all over it. He's going to disrupt it. He's going to destroy it. Just like Matt Hardy did when Edge was trying to marry Lita. So, look for that to come out of this as well. Now, Rusev would face No Way Jose, or who I like to call No Win Jose. When's the last time No Way has won a match? I can't remember. Was it last year? Maybe when he first debuted? But this man is he's the jobber of jobbers. Rusev would beat him pretty easy, pretty quickly. But then Rusev would do something surprising. He would get him up after the match. He'd pick up No Way Jose, and then he would start dancing. And I mean, he's dancing. He's hitting this little thing going on. He's hitting a little Rusev Day shuffle. He's doing a little bit of everything, and he would join the conga line, and they would exit out. Now, it cuts to backstage to see Seth Rollins getting ready for his match. He's asked about it, and he gets upset about this match that he's about getting asked to get interrupted for his warm up. Now, Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship is the main event of Raw. Now, this has all the makings of a great, great, great match. As the match goes on, Rey Mysterio would finally get the advantage over Seth Rollins, and he hits him with the 619, goes up the top rope, and then Razor and Akam get involved, and it's a disqualification. It's a really disappointing way to see that match end. It's the first in a lifetime that you get to see Rey Mysterio face off against Seth Rollins. They could have done this so much differently. They could have at least waited. They could have at least had Kevin Owens get involved, which I really thought that's what they was going to do. It doesn't happen. It's unfortunate. And it really ruined a great match in my opinion, because this match didn't last all that long. They would then jump Rey Mysterio. They drag him all the way up to the commentator's desk. All the commentators would get up and leave except one man, that one man being Samoa Joe, and the writing was on the wall that Samoa Joe, sooner or later, when he gets healthy, would be facing Seth Rollins, because he has been very vocal on Raw about this group, this AOP and Seth Rollins, saying how people need to stand up to them and shut them down now before they get too powerful. AOP and Joe would have a confrontation. Seth Rollins would back AOP off. He would say, "Look, my beef's not with you. My beef's with Rey Mysterio. We're good. I'll let you be. Don't you worry." He would then turn around and tell the AOP to finish him. Joe would hold his own as long as he could before getting the number games to him. He would then get put through his own commentary table, and that's how the night would end, with AOP and Seth Rollins reigning supreme. Now, this show was a solid show. I would actually give this show a 4-star rating. This is the best Raw they've had in weeks. There was a lot of matches. There was wrestling going on, and yeah, I get it. It's always been Raw's always had segments. Raw's always had like soap opera feel to it, more now than ever. And I get it. They need to have that type of stuff because people like different things, and they reached out to different people. But for me, I like it when you got some more wrestling going on. I like when you got these matches going on, and you had good matches at that. It was some matches were predictable, but some of them you were like, you know what, anything could happen in this. I will say, excuse me, it's been a long night, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm happy Rey Mysterio did retain the title. I want Rey Mysterio to have a lengthy reign as United States Champion. And by the way, the rumor has it that they are going to be pushing 2 main events at the same time. Raw is 2 main event stories, I should say. One of it being Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, and then the next being Andrade and Humberto Carrillo and Rey Mysterio for the United States title. It's a smart move. It's a risky move. It's not been done very often. Do they push 2 main storylines? But the way Raw's ratings have been, and the way Raw's storytelling has been, and the way Raw has been here recently, SmackDown, in my opinion, has been owning Raw in shows. I think SmackDown's been the better show. I think SmackDown's been putting on the better segments. They've been handling things a little bit better than Raw has. NXT is still the place to go if you want to watch some wrestling. But all in all, this was a pretty solid match. Match of the night is that 6-man tag match between Randy Orton and the Viking Raiders versus the OC. I'm happy you guys tuned in. What do you guys think? What's your opinions of these segments of things that I copied? What did you think of tonight's Raw? How did you rate it? Things like that. So hit that like. hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. If you like that content that I'm giving you, if you got suggestions to make this content better, please put it in the comments. I want to hear you guys' opinions. I want to hear your criticisms. That's what this YouTube is for. Your guys' opinions matter. And let me know segments you want me to cover. I'm very open to cover anything sports related. So yeah, that's Monday Night Raw. 4-star rating. The OC versus the Viking Raiders in Orton was the match of the night. And thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you guys later on. Bye.